It's a tale of two realities, playing out on a sun-drenched Spanish street, the visitor and the local. The scene often begins with a stark and telling contrast, a silent conversation between two entirely different worlds occupying the same space. On one side, you see the faces of tourists. First, there's a flicker of disbelief, a quick double-take. Is this really happening? Then, it melts into wide-eyed curiosity. They lean forward, as if drawn in by an invisible force, their expressions a mixture of fascination and sometimes outright shock. Almost instinctively, phones rise, capturing quick, shaky glimpses of something they did not expect, something that defies their everyday norms. They whisper in hushed, excited tones, pointing not with judgment, but with a genuine sense of amazement. You can almost hear the questions forming. Did you see that? Can you believe this? Many visitors, especially those from more conservative places, arrive with certain expectations of a festival. They might anticipate costumes, loud music, perhaps a parade. What they find instead is something far more elemental, far more human. For them, this unexpected sight becomes a story to document, a memory to dissect and discuss for years to come. It feels as if the usual rules of public life have been gently suspended, just for today, just for this place. But then, you look to the other side of the street. Here, life continues with a completely unbothered rhythm. There is no spectacle, only routine. Shopkeepers sweep their storefronts, pausing to wave at neighbors passing by. The air is filled with the scent of fresh bread and coffee, not chaos. Families share pastries at sidewalk cafes, their conversations flowing easily. Children chase pigeons through the square, their laughter riding the warm air, completely oblivious to the tourists' astonishment. For the locals, this is simply another beautiful Saturday. It's a part of their cultural landscape, as normal as the sun in the sky. Calm meets astonishment. The everyday meets the extraordinary. This is the silent dialogue between two perspectives, and it's where our story truly begins. Section 2. The Festival of Renewal. Name, time, and tradition. Locals know it as La Fiesta del Despertar, the Festival of Awakening. Held on the first Saturday of May, a day for renewal, more than spectacle. Not an ancient rite, but a modern tradition born in the late 1970s. It followed the end of a long conservative period. The timing, intentional, spring in full bloom, shedding winter's confines, embracing the freedom and warmth of summer. A statement of personal liberty and life in its most natural form. Morning hums as the community comes together. Bread, local cheeses, and fruit arrive with gentle greetings. Music and conversation stitch the plaza into a single room. To understand why this festival feels so natural here, we need to look beyond the present moment and into the roots of Spanish culture. It's a story woven from resilience, community, and a quiet but powerful spirit of defiance. For centuries, local traditions and festivals have been the lifeblood of Spanish identity, braiding together nature, community, and heritage. But these gatherings took on a new, deeper meaning during the 20th century. Under the strict regime of Francisco Franco, when public life was tightly controlled, these celebrations became precious, protected spaces, outlets for expression when other freedoms were curtailed. Then came La Transición, the country's remarkable journey from dictatorship to democracy in the late 1970s. After decades of repression, an explosive wave of social and cultural freedom swept the nation. It was a time of profound change, a collective exhale. Artists, musicians, filmmakers, and everyday citizens began to challenge long-held taboos. And one of the most powerful symbols of the old regime's control was its enforced modesty and censorship of the human body. So, celebrating the body in the open air wasn't a frivolous act. It was a direct, peaceful, and natural response. It was a reclamation. This festival was born from that very spirit, not as an ancient ritual, but as a modern declaration of liberty. For the older generations who remember that time, it represents both a personal and a political liberation. So why do tourists often expect chaos, but instead find such profound calm? Because the nudity was never the point. It's a symbol of a freedom that was hard-won and is now quietly, confidently cherished. To understand the festival, you first have to understand the local mindset. It's a perspective rooted in a simple, profound idea. The human body is not shameful or secret. It is natural. Here, being unclothed is seen as just another way of being in the world, as ordinary as the trees that line the riverbanks or the warm sun on your face. It's a connection to the environment, not a performance for others. This attitude is learned from a young age. Children grow up seeing calm, normal participation in everyday life, whether at the beach or a local park. They learn that the body isn't something to fear, hide, or objectify. This early, matter-of-fact understanding explains why the shock many outsiders feel simply doesn't exist here. When you remove the taboo, what's left? A naked body in context is simply a body. When the warm seasons arrive, life naturally moves outdoors, to the plazas, the beaches, the rivers, and the gardens. It's a culture that embraces public space and shared experience. The festival isn't a radical departure from this norm. It simply extends this everyday relationship with nature and community into a celebration. It's a sensory day, feeling the sun and air on the skin, free from the layers that separate us from the world. And crucially, the entire event is intentionally non-sexualized and family-friendly. This isn't a party, it's a communal gathering. Because of this, disrespectful or leering behavior isn't just frowned upon. It's seen as a fundamental violation of the event's spirit. It's simply not tolerated. This foundation of mutual respect is what allows everyone, from young children to the elderly, to feel completely safe and welcome. It's a freedom that comes from trust, not from a lack of rules. One common misconception is that it is a wild spring break party, fueled by misleading photos and sensational travel blogs. Many expect chaos. They encounter calm. It feels like a peaceful, communal picnic. There is music and dancing, but the tone stays respectful. Another myth: it is only for the young and uninhibited. In truth, all ages and all bodies are present. It celebrates the human body without idealizing a few. First-timers fear privacy and safety, but strong norms protect participants. Staring is rude. Intrusive photography is frowned upon. Many, especially women, feel safer and less objectified here. Another myth: clothing optional everywhere, all day. In reality, it is limited, signed, and time-bound. While it may appear unruled, the festival rests on mutual respect. The unspoken rule: treat everyone with dignity. This guides interactions and preserves peace. Leering, unsolicited comments, or crowding are unacceptable. The community corrects disrespect quickly and calmly. Photography: wide ambiance is fine. Close-ups require explicit permission. Signs and stewards keep everyone informed. Logistics are present but unobtrusive. First aid, water, information. Community stewards coordinate and de-escalate without heavy policing. Clear boundaries. Be dressed in shops, cafes, and neighborhoods. Freedom paired with responsibility. To tell this story, capture serenity and community with wide cinematic shots. Show the organic movement of the crowd, not individuals. Use detail shots to convey emotion, hands, laughter, simple joy. Back angles and silhouettes protect dignity while expressing freedom. Subtitles bridge culture. Let local voices be heard as meanings appear on screen. Favor long, unhurried takes. Small rituals reveal the heart of the festival. As the day ends, the town returns to quiet. The values remain. Tourists arrive expecting shock and leave with understanding. It shows that nudity can symbolize naturalism, freedom, and trust. In a diverse world, what does it mean to feel free in your own body?